We've spent years talking about how much Google, Amazon, or Apple are investing in India. That's always been the story. The big tech giants coming here to tap into our talent and our market. But the data coming out of the Select USA 2026 summit in Maryland completely flips that script. India was the top investor at the summit, not one of the top, the leader. Out of all the countries present, Indian companies committed a record $20.5 billion in new investments into the United States. It's a massive number. While we're pushing Make in India to attract foreign capital, our own homegrown companies are putting $20 billion into the American economy. And that's why today, I want to look at the data behind this. Which companies are writing these checks? Why are they building there instead of here? And most importantly, does this actually help India in the long run? Let me break it down on this episode. Welcome to Tech Bro. To understand these numbers, you have to look at where they were announced. The Select USA Investment Summit. This is a high-profile program run by the US Department of Commerce whose sole purpose is to get foreign companies to build factories and offices in the US. This year, India sent one of the largest delegations in history. The result was a record-breaking $20.5 billion in commitment. In the past, Indian investment in the US was mostly about IT services and back-office hubs. This year, the trend shifted heavily toward advanced manufacturing across several strategic sectors. Pharma is responsible for the lion's share of this, about $19.1 billion. The biggest anchor is Sun Pharma, which signed a $11.75 billion deal to acquire the New Jersey-based company Organon. This is a strategic play to become a global owner of specialty medicine patents. But they weren't alone. We're seeing major expansion plans from the likes of Aurobindo, Dr. Reddy's, Biocon, and Zydus Life Sciences. They're all scaling up their US-based manufacturing and R&D centers. Then you have the industrial side. Abhyuday Group, based out of Ahmedabad, got everyone's attention with a $900 million pledge. They're setting up manufacturing clusters across 5 different US states. JSW Steel is also doubling down, putting $255 million into modernizing their Ohio and Texas plants. They're upgrading these facilities with the latest technology to make them faster and more energy efficient. Even the smaller deals tell a big story about the future. Sterlite Technologies is spending $100 million on high-density optical fiber production to support US AI and 5G infrastructure. Then you have specialized tech players like TechDome Solutions, Roche AI, and Atri AI setting up in hubs like Silicon Valley and Michigan. Even IIT Madras is getting in on the action, committing $7.5 million to establish a global research hub in Menlo Park, California. When you add it all up, Indian firms are now supporting over 70,000 American jobs. That is a massive footprint for a country that used to be seen as just a back office. Okay, so now the big question is, why? Why take billions to the US when labor is cheaper here? The truth is, for the industries we're talking about, labor costs aren't the deciding factor anymore. The plants Sun Pharma or Sterlite are building aren't just traditional assembly lines. They're part of a new wave of advanced manufacturing. These facilities rely heavily on automation and AI-driven precision. When a factory is this technology intensive, the focus shifts away from low-cost labor and toward things like a highly stable power grid, hyper-efficient logistics, and being physically close to the American customer. Then there's the market access. Under the new 2026 trade rules, if you want to win US government contracts for fiber optics or supply their national health systems, manufacturing on US soil is often a prerequisite. By investing there, Indian firms become local players. It's a strategic way to bypass remaining trade barriers and secure a lead over competitors who are still shipping everything from overseas. And of course, the proximity to innovation. This is exactly why the IIT Madras move is so significant. Their Global Research Foundation just announced a new center in Menlo Park, California, with a total planned investment of $7.5 million. By setting up right in the heart of Silicon Valley, they're putting Indian engineers in the same room as the people designing the world's next-gen AI chips and biotech patents. But it's not just academia. We saw a wave of startups making their own commitments at Select USA this year. TechDome Solutions from Indore is putting in $7.5 million. Roche AI from Kerala is investing $5 million in Texas, and Atri AI is dropping $2 million right there in Menlo Park. Even KissFlow announced a $2 million expansion in Houston. I know what a lot of you are thinking. Wait a minute, why is this $20 billion leaving India? Well, when we see such a massive outflow of capital, it's obvious to think why spend there, not here. Is it easier to bypass the hurdles here and scale there? So let's think of it this way. These companies remain Indian at their core. When Sun Pharma generates a profit in the US, those earnings strengthen the global balance sheet of the parent company back home. This capital gives them the firepower to fund their massive R&D centers in Mumbai and maintain their high-tech manufacturing hubs in Gujarat. Plus, there's the diplomatic side. Indian companies now support over 70,000 direct jobs across the US. This gives India significant strategic leverage. It becomes a very different conversation for US policymakers to discuss trade or visa restrictions when Indian CEOs are the ones responsible for the livelihood of thousands of families in places like Ohio or Pennsylvania. So while the money leaving part looks concerning on the surface, it's actually helping India Inc. build a global footprint. It ensures we're a market for the world, becoming the ones who own the factories and the technology in the world's largest economies. Even with this capital moving abroad, India is still the bright spot globally. The latest May 2026 data puts our GDP growth at around 6.6 to 6.9%. We've seen some moderation because of global energy costs and the tensions in West Asia, but we're still outperforming almost every other major economy. So this $20 billion isn't a loss for our economy. It's proof that Indian companies are maturing. We're moving past the era of just being a back office. We're now a nation that owns the factories and the IP in the world's most powerful markets. And that's the brew for today. I want to hear your take. Is this global expansion the right move, or should we be focusing more on building these high-tech plants at home? Let's talk in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to Tech Brew with Vandana Nair. I'll see you in the next one.